Hi guys, a few weeks ago I was asked to do a recording session where I needed to play on this my old Gibson ES-175 and since I changed to play semi-hollows I never changed strings on this guitar, which meant that it actually had strings that were 7 years old. So I thought I might as well just make a recording for myself, but also for YouTube, of how with my setup these 7-year-old strings sound compared to a new set of strings. So that's what I've done here. You can check out the recording. I have the two videos, so first the old strings and then the new ones right after this, and then I'm just going to talk a little bit about how what I thought about it. So there's the difference between 7-year-old strings and completely new strings. And I think for my tone, if you hear sort of through my setup and what the audience will hear or what you will hear in a recording, there's really almost no difference. I mean, I think you have to give D'Addario credit for it, because 7-year-old strings that still sound that good, and I think if you would hear one or the other you wouldn't really go, well, this doesn't work or it's not usable or anything like that. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that the strings that were on there were D'Addario flat wound 12s, so the chrome ones I think they're called, and that's what's on here now, except I think I didn't have a high E string, so I took that from another set. So that's a different, I'm not even sure it's a D'Addario to be honest, but I don't remember, it's a few weeks ago. But yeah, as you can tell, the tones are really similar. I think you have a little bit more sustain with the new strings. They're of course a lot less dead. Acoustically there's more of a difference, but that's not really what you'll hear in the audience if I'm playing this guitar, or certainly not on a recording. So there's not much of a difference there. The biggest difference probably to me was intonation. So the other strings were worn out, so the intonation was not really that usable up here. But for the rest, there's really very little difference in setup, and I'm actually surprised also how little difference there is for strings that are that old and strings that are completely new. But of course this is also just a demonstration of how I've seen interviews where people talk about that they actually like the flat wound strings to be older and not the new ones because they're too bright. Though again, as you can hear, it's a minimal difference really, especially with my setup. It's not that I have sort of a dark sound, but for jazz not that dark. I think you can also hear the new strings have more treble, that they drive the amp a little bit more, because I'm always playing through something that would sound like a Fender amp that's pushed, so it will break up, and it will break up more if you push it with more high frequency, and you can kind of hear that a bit, but it's really in the details. I think there's very little difference. Anyway, this is of course not like a scientific experiment. I'm not trying to prove anything, it's just making an observation because I thought it was like a funny coincidence that the two strings sets sound so similar. I don't know what you think. Leave a comment, let me know, and I'll be back with a lesson on Thursday. Thank you. Bye.